Well, I'm pretty.
How do you want this thing?
How do we want that thing, you think?
Like,
Drive still on it?
you want the drive still on it and shit, and then we can just figure it out.
You don't have a 121 on it, Venom. He's pulling the one out of the very
But then I don't have a drive.
That's probably gonna come with the drive, don't you think?
Oh,
That's why I'm telling. Let me open this real quick.
The 140. The only. Probably is confused. So this has that parts bag on it. So basically.
So I'm gonna take this stand. I'm gonna swap this stands off because I think yours are shorter.
Well, hang on. Let's talk about this. So I have a spare drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
We could assemble this motor with a spare drive and one of my new blowers, if it would help Sean, and send that fucking thing with the blower, the pipe, and everything on it.
True. There. Yes.
It's got an F4 on it.
What up, Rick dude?
Well, it's the same pipe, right? The F3 and F4 is exactly the same, right, Javi?
If you do it like this,
Yeah, that doesn't benefit him any. Just take it. So I'm gonna send you a picture of how I got my new motor. Here, I'm gonna do it right. And this is how I think we should send.
Somebody wanna fuck up your 121, and I can use that for mock-up.
I know, who did that?
But all the 136s are fucked up.
Look at the picture I just sent you.
Tell them to bolt that on it.
Yeah, bolt the 136 on it.
Yeah, because it's the same.
So let's go back. What blower are you gonna put on that to the street? Well,
now
if you'll be a man and tell him to do that. Instead of being on bashful for some reason with him, say, hey motherfucker, this is how I want this done.
No, that's not it. I need pictures of what yours is so that I can show him this is the way I need it, so I can only use it.
I'll send him a bunch of
pictures. Extra simple, we'll send you a bunch.
I'll send him a bunch.
So look at the picture I just sent you.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So that's gonna leave that the pieces of that blower that's on there is the same thing I just ordered. I just ordered that from ProCharger so that my drive and everything would just bolt right back on it. So you're gonna need that parts bag to give back to me eventually if I send you with one. We can figure it all out. But anyway. Okay. So I'm
good with that right there. And then I'll have Phantom get all these pieces of this ProCharger, all this gear drive that is sitting here, and take with him. That way he can bolt that ProCharger, my new ProCharger here, to your motor.
What ProCharger are you gonna run on that motor?
Probably the 121.
Yeah.
And the 136 and 121 are the same dimension-wise like that.
Yeah. Well, you can go. I think you can go bottom 390s, low 380s. Bottom 390s, high maybe 380s with a 136.
Yeah.
So
And I have a 140 also.
that's what I'm saying. And that 140 that he says for some reason you thought he said didn't work that's crazy because the fastest I've ever been is with that blower.
Yeah. I think maybe he's just confused because, and I get it. Yeah, how fast was that you went with that blower?
Well, memory's a little
I
fuzzy.
can't remember.
Memory's a little fuzzy.
I'm trying to remember. I don't even believe them.
Yeah, I don't believe them either because we've never got.
They're both telling me.
We've never got that level.
I mean, I can tell you real quick, probably. Let's see. That's this side over here.
What is? I don't know what you say when
This one? Yeah, this one?
Height-wise, maybe, I don't know. I was just looking at front to back placement. It's pretty much smack dab in the middle of that and these.
Ryan, does he have any?
It's pretty damn close. If it's not, it's close. It could probably be changed. If not, I mean, it can definitely change.
Do we have any what? We don't have any braided ones, the braided 16.
You have a braided 16?
I don't think so.
I think we're staring at something right there.
Braided 16?
Oh, you talking about, no, we don't usually braid shit.
Yeah, this line right here, for a long time has always been braided. I don't know if it has something inside of it, but that one's always been braided.
Yeah, why do we need another one?
All right, Javi's back from America's List and busy already. What's up, bud?
Back from when I know people joke around all the time and say, like, we're racing in Mexico, but we really were racing in Mexico this time. Got back from America's List down in South Texas, like South Texas. Did pretty good, so. But now we're back here in the shop, prepping for season, what are we on, 5? Season 5 of MPK. I don't know, we're trying to have another good season. I ain't gonna predict some, but we're gonna try to go defend our championship and see if we can't win some more races. But as you can see, I think Richard walked by it. But taking this motor out, this is freshly built, like rebuilt. This has been the same motor that we used all last year, won the season with, started with, ended with. Very good, tough motor. Like, didn't have no problems with it. Like, just kept feeding it GRP rods and cycling the heads, and it was a tried and true. It's a great motor, but there's always a but. We didn't ever make excuses when we lost races. We're not making excuses now, but this guy right here is a Alan Johnson Pro Line race cam Hemi, but it's got MH5 heads. And there's guys out there that we raced with. It's not our fault or their fault, but they had same motor, same short block, but MH6 heads. So obviously made a little bit more horsepower. So finally, Ryan thought, since you know, we won with what we had, obviously you want to try to go faster every year, faster, because everybody else is going to step their game up. So Ryan, he always invests back into the race program. It's one of the main reasons that I work for him, because, you know, he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. And we feel like to win next year, because obviously people are going to get faster, new combos, better motors, stuff like that. So he invested in, he got us a brand new, another race cam MH6 headed Hemi. So I'm taking this tried and true Trooper out, and I think it's going to go in a nice home. It's not going to go very far. I wouldn't say it's sold right now, but it's going in a good home, and I'm pretty sure out there in the YouTube land, you'll figure out, if you follow along enough with the guys that you know, YouTube, you're going to see where this thing ends up. But it's going to go to a good home. And I think for the time, it's going to go home to a new home for a little bit, but it's going to be a sister motor to the Fireball. We'll always have one of these motors around. We're not going to switch the Fire. We don't need any more power on the street. So this is going to be a sister motor to the Fireball car, where we can, when we're out there on the street, we're in the middle of nowhere, and they're like, oh man, something happened. You got a spare part of this? Yes, actually we do, because we hoard everything. We always have spare parts. So it's the same motor Dave's got. You know, Dave's got a race cam MH5 headed Hemi. So we're gonna, it's good, like when you're out there in the street, we don't have toters, we don't have stacker trailers, you know, we're just out there with little smaller trailers and trucks, you know what I mean? So we all need to have each other's backs with whatever spare parts we got. If somebody blows their shit up, we can rob some parts off of it to fix our stuff, to keep us going, you know what I mean? Because, man, being gone for 30 days, you can tear up a lot of shit. Like, there's a lot of stuff you can tear up that you never thought you were going to tear up. So that's why it's going to go where it's going to go. We're going to take this out, take the blower off, everything like that, and I'm going to put it on a pallet, on an engine stand, and get it to its new home. Then I'm going to put the new MH6 race cam Hemi installed, and we got the zoomies there. I think they're on their way, so hopefully I have this thing fired up by the end of tomorrow. I started late, I'm lazy, it's my first day back, so I'm dragging ass and on the phone and ordering parts, so just trying to make everything. So we've got some more horsepower. We're going to try to defend our title and come with a little bit more power, so we'll get this thing knocked out. Might not be any fuel in there, because I think the last time this motor even ran was we drove it right out of POI. So yeah, there's a little bit of fuel in it. But I just want to cap everything. This motherfucker.
So you guys were at America's List for an extra 2 weeks, Javi.
Fuck.
What's up with that? Was it just bad weather every night? Everybody's been asking.
Fuck it. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I guess we were by the ocean. Well, we raced literally by a sugarcane field. And every night about midnight, the fog would come in. And you can't see shit. And the road gets wet.
Fog comes in every night.
Yeah, fog comes in and out every midnight. And like literally, you can't see out of the cars. Obviously, none of these cars have defrosters. So the windshield gets all fogged up, shit like that. So you literally can't race. And then it rains. And then it does all the other cool shit. Makes it where you can't race, and then it just rains all day down there. If you ask the locals, that never happens. Only when we're down there, supposedly. And then some of the crews, they can't work that many hours, so it was what it was. A lot of boring days, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
what can you do? Loctite. Elton John, how was it?
Oh, it was good.
Good?
Yeah, it was real good. He started out a
He's
little...
fucking old, ain't
He started out a little old, but like his second song ended up just fucking voice came back, and I think it just takes him a little while to warm up.
Get warmed up.
Yeah.
That past the first song.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good show, man.
I'm glad you got to go. I know COVID really had that fucked up there for you for a little bit, didn't it?
The COVID?
Yeah, like as in, didn't you had already had the tickets for a long time, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
That's what I was saying. COVID had that fucked up for you for a while.
So now it's funny. He was on the Ring doorbell a minute ago, and I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Huh?"
Sorry, bud.
Are you?
Total mama's boy.
Does he still bomb the hill though on the Strider?
He's got training wheels on the bike now. He just gets it.
He just gets it. Yeah, you take the training wheels off. I bet he can do it.
I'm sure he can.
Let him find out this year.
Is all that stuff gonna fit?
I think that's it.
What you got over here, bub?
Find out here in a second.
Harness.
What's in
The
there?
Hornets.
Can
I
you
need
look
you.
in
I need you to build this
in there?
for me.
What's in
Try
there?
tomorrow, whenever you get
Tell
time. I'll
me.
get it all out. I'll have it sitting out here.
Huh?
See if his head will fit in that hole.
No, I'm just kidding.
What do you see?
Say no, he's got a big old noggin.
Big old noggin.
Big old head. So we weigh 13 pounds and 6 pounds of head. See, what's up high?
Alright, so next is I got 2 converter bolts. I think that's
I
pretty close
figured
to
you were
taking.
gonna start doing that.
What? Convertibles?
No,
What?
stinking. He's over here going, so I know what he's doing.
Oh, he's pushing one out on you?
You want primed up and ready for you, man.
You know what that means? That means
Take you home, dog.
time to go back home to mom.
I think he's still pooping. You might as well just go ahead and go home.
Yeah, we'll just
Let me
hang
finish
tight
that.
till we
Finish
get
that.
He's doing it right. We pulled in the driveway.
Yeah, that's what happened. Why is it all the way up his back? I don't know.
I don't know.
He's making funny noises when we pulled into the driveway.
Tinky butt.
I know I scratched the other one. Was that the same scratch? Or these are old valve covers?
I don't think they even fit, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
These
that's
are
scratched.
definitely not our old ones.
Yeah, those. Yeah, but yeah, that's scratched up a little bit.
They look new.
I know, but I was showing you the shipping that got.
Hey, that might be our old valve covers
I know you said I fucked some up.
because that was sitting up against the.
I don't know. I was just trying to let you know, see if something you just paid a lot of money for and it's all scratched up.
Yeah.
Let you know.
I don't know if they'll go on or not.
I don't think so either, but that's why I like. Should I put it in between those or try to pick it up like that?
What do you mean?
See, in between the jack stands or try to pick it up like this?
I mean, it'll probably come up like that.
Jack it up, jack it up, jack it up. So, one more time, keep going. It won't tear that up. You can't tear that up.
It won't?
No, because it's, that's not going to move, right?
I mean, unless it bends this.
Here, let me unbolt this. It's got some tension on it. Give it a little bit more. A little bit more, a little bit more.
You said it's Tim. You just said Tim. I know that's not Tim.
I said Colin. I thought,
no. Yeah, it's Tim. He could, but what we're trying to do is get it to go to somewhere right there by the dealership.
Okay, that's where I did. The next closest.
He's already got some dude that's going to text me from somebody in the same county. He said, I've already called him. We're doing paint protection, window tint, and ceramic coating, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, whatever.
Can you check the starter to make sure that I don't get the starter? Still good? Keep going up. Going up. I'm good on my side, Ryan.
What?
I said I'm good on my side, like between the frame there. Still good with it? Starter, the only thing last time we took this out was what we were worried about. Hopefully it goes higher. I don't really think that's good.
I'm going to do what?
Hopefully. Hey, will you pull that stinger out? I can pull the fuel cell out of it if I need to. No, right here, right there. Where it fell, it was just on that. That's only
Tear the bolt up?
No, turn it. I think that's good right now.
I'm going to go a little higher.
Need to move the jack stand further back. Okay. Hurry.
I'll hold this and pull straight back on.
Where? Rick, I'd go ahead and start blowing it a little bit, so that we don't have a fucking Peter way up in the fucking air.
Pull.
Okay.
Pull. Okay. That is good.
You got your fancy bolts that Rick's also funny. I've measured me, Bill measured everything, but I'd like to measure everything with you. It was really close. Like
I mean, it's 400,000 is the difference.
Stop.
All right, day 2. Javi's putting the new motor in, getting all the parts put back on it. How long till we get her put in, Javi?
Pretty close. Pretty close. I had to take a bunch of little shit off. Shit that the way we do things, so, and the way we collect data and stuff like that, so it's a little bit different. So stuff that I don't have spares of, that I'm probably gonna get spares of, so.
And there's Phantom is in the Fireball house. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. Coming over here to check this ability goodness out.
All right.
Space shuttle.
Always
See
knocking
the
it out.
difference?
What is it?
See the difference in like a little bit in the heads and in the intake? That's very like minute. Besides, I have to just put the front plate on, the mid plate on it, like the head, the intake, and shit like that.
Okay.
They do a little short.
Yeah, it's got a bigger, a little more plenum
It's
in
like
it.
the runners are a little shorter, and then the plenums.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna send all these pictures, but I'll show you.
Yeah, what was the stinger stuff that...
Okay, so here, like this deal, this is how they do this. It's like a clutch saver, block saver is basically what it is. Full spacer, so he'll probably do that one. You put it behind the flywheel. So like all these fittings right here for like, so this fitting right here, we broke in Epping. We broke it because it was this goes to the log, but we went in we changed everything to steel. So I want you to do that. Change it. I just don't have them yet.
Yeah.
So it's 8 to 6 and then quarter to 6, but steel fittings.
Okay.
Summit's got them. And then this little log, Fuel Tech sells it. It's like a safety log, so you just tie everything. You put the fuel pressure regulator in it, and you put one blow. You put one blow off in it. So if something happens, you know, one blow off will open, dump a bunch of boost. You feed it from the back of the intake and shit. So like stuff like that.
Right on.
And like I said, I've got pictures I'm gonna send to you. The only thing I gotta do is besides just get ready to stab this thing in there, and then just put it on the engine stand and change. I gotta just take the injectors out of it. That's the last thing. Okay. But I just been taking a bunch of little shit off of it, so yeah. Got lazy yesterday. Ran out of energy.
No, I feel you. Going straight.
And then you want to take a bunch of pictures of that. Yeah. That's where you're gonna want to mount it and everything. DMC shit, they could have. Fuck brake straws the same way. Like this motherfucker broke all the time. You can see where it's still rubbing. I had to have him notch this and then notch this some more because I could barely get this out.
Oh yeah.
So it ain't that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a big deal, you know. We're just.
If we can make it easier, make it easier.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn, you gonna take your truck?
Yeah, hey man, I love that truck.
It's Boston, man.
Dude,
It's a long way.
well, the fucking, like those Fords, there's no comparison. Like, the power that Ford has over that thing it's tough to admit.
Oh man, if you get.
Oh, it is.
Hey, what's crazy?
I would take the Ford, but the heat and AC don't work in it.
I'll tell you this, another big difference is because me and Ricky drove the old one, and we drove Chris's, the 10-speed.
Yeah.
That's another game changer.
Like the 10-speed.
Yeah.
I'm sure when Sean buys a new one for him, it'll be a 10-speed.
Dave never told me all, did he? So when we got to the paintball place, he decked it. It got stuck in between gears. It went whoa, whoa, whoa! It went, oh! And I was like, I looked over at Travis. I said, Dave? And he's like, and then he let out of it, and then he goes, looks over, and he's back in it, and starts moving. He goes, man, if this motherfucker leaves, we'll be driving a new truck on the way home. So when you get that, you can put.
Your shock sensor. No.
You can put stingers, oil tint stinger, and then you can put a stinger in the intake, and then this right here you can put a head for heat.
Yep.
Just so like you can get down to the nitty gritty and making the same runs over and over and over again.
Yep. Tell you what's gonna happen.
You got enough runs that if I know it's gonna.
Yeah.
Hey dude, I'm telling you guys, I was talking to Dennis yesterday. I was was like, hey bro, this fucking car you built, motherfucker works good down the road. Like effortless.
Yeah.
Don't even look like it's trying.
Yep.
Shit, you went one flat with that thing almost right out of the box, right?
Yeah, like first pass it went one of.
I told him, I was like, man, I'm gonna put
No, they did a hell of a job.
I said, hey man, I'm trying to get this Hemi ready for you. He goes, what Hemi? I said, one of the great cars? Like, yes! He said, I didn't know. I had it all ready because I knew either I was going to do it or somebody was going to put a Hemi in this thing. I said, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, when they built it, they built the frame rail so the Hemi would go right in it.
Yeah, he was asking me what Ryan's gonna do to his Mustang. I said, I don't know yet.
It's gonna be either big block or small block Ford.
That's what I told him. I told big block, small block. I told him a big block Ford.
Hey, you know the truck they sent me yesterday that said, "Hey, your truck's in here. It is."
Not it.
That's not my truck.
That's what.
It is identical to my truck.
Oh, he was just showing it to you?
No, he said he thought that was my truck. He called me today and he goes, "Hey man, I got bad news." And I said, "What's up?" He goes, "That truck ain't yours." And I said, "What?" But in my mind, I remember
People
Cherish.
like that are full of it.
I mean, usually, but Cherish told me yesterday, "Man, that's weird that your truck's done because your build date doesn't show that it's delivered or anything yet." And I said, "Yeah." He said that what happened is a dude came in this morning and said, "Yeah, Ford sent an email saying my truck was here."
Yeah.
And
So
they
he
said,
went to pick it up?
"No, that's not yours. That's Ryan Martin's." And the guy said, "Well, I have the VIN number on my paper and it says it's mine." And so Nico called me and goes, "Man, that's all my fault. He goes, "I would have thought, who else would have ordered that truck with that interior and everything?" And he's like, "Most everybody gets black." He's like, "So," he goes, "but somehow, some way, identical, everything, the same build sheet is all the same."
That's crazy. What color is the interior?
It's called, I'll show you a picture.
It looks like football. It looks
Reddish
like
tan.
Oh, that's sharp.
Yeah, I can't remember what they call it. I'm blanking out, but it's got the new big screen.
Oh, nice.
It's identical to what I have now. It's just different interior, really.
Yep.
And a better screen. And it's the same price. And I put 15,000 miles on mine.
following him.
Damn it, Howie.
Following him.
Probably wore my truck out before I got hold of it.
fault that you put the model
Right.
on.
Did I follow him?
Yes.
Follow him.
Okay.
You tell me.
Tricky. I would say keep going down.
You ready, Freddy?
Go in now. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. It looks like those are your studs are on your holes, right? And here it looks like they are.
Ooh. Damn, it's like a glove.
It's definitely
Needs to come back.
a little bit. Not all the way in. It's close.
Come down just a tad bit more and push in.
Tell me to come down a little bit.
I'm gonna say let's get bolts in it.
Okay. We're gonna have to give it
Me
both.
and Rick are gonna have to pull this apart, I think.
What?
Either
This is
you
some
and
weird
Bean
shit,
grab
but-
the struts, like you're gonna grab the struts and we're gonna pry this bitch
I can't
apart.
even imagine this is a thing, to be honest with you, but it is.
It is a thing.
Hang on. Tell me when you're ready.
You go ahead. I might have to go get a punch. Hold on, let me go get a punch.
Or get one in and then we'll go to the other side or something.
What the hell did you just do? Did you just separate?
Yeah.
Pull it apart.
That's how
Hey,
that's how
man,
much
get it.
this ties this together.
Get in it and go fast.
That one looks like it'll go right in.
Hey, after this is ended, you take it for a ride.
After
in
this is
this,
in?
but in that.
Oh,
That
that's
sweet ass
it's
Bell.
cool, but it'll disappoint you. It ain't very fast.
Ryan go.
I don't know. I was
It's slow as fuck.
He was at
On
Q
cue.
yesterday, and I seen him whatever, and he was like, "God, this thing's fucking turd."
I mean, slow. Like, I was like, that's the 496, huh? I'll throw this one in the trash can.
That's not even good enough for your mud fuck.
Fuck no, that truck would destroy that car.
Somehow Ryan got the.
That sounds like it was a lot of fun.
I'm gonna build one of those with the show like if the show. Sam's talking about putting a deal together, but I'd like to. If we ever get some time, I'd like to just put one together anyway.
That'd be a fun build.
Yeah. Just a bunch of ratio, a 3-speed, and like 700 horsepower, and it'd probably be fucking insanely fast. Put it on alcohol.
Hell, that ought to be laying around here.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, truthfully, that motor out of that would be good. It just needs some heads on it, like heads and cams.
Pretty close, huh?
Do we need to like go up with that bar?
Up or out? No, you just gotta stretch your.
Stretch your car in half.
Ready for it. Watch yourself. Boom, we're in. Just gotta stretch the struts. Strut tires.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It works.
That's just crazy.
Some cars have a bar that goes like this to support the two.
It was weird yesterday when we took it apart. Like, you watched it like Twinkie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yep.
Yeah, that happens.
I forgot
And it's
I
weird.
didn't even say
All the
anything.
pressure happens right here.
I would have told you if I didn't know how this car was built and who built it, that was some janky ass bullshit, and it shouldn't do that. But you know why they do it? I'll tell you why they do it. Because there's nothing right here. This usually has a bar
Goes to the bottom.
that goes to the bottom. And these do not have that.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even pay attention to it.
Some of them guys like will quick pin them and shit. Motor's in.
Coming off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like you start redoing this, like we broke this a couple times, stuff like that. So
What is it?
it's a sniffer. So it gathers. It's like
Oh, O2 kind of.
yeah, it's just an O2 sniffer. So
Oh, you just do it on one side. Huh?
yeah, they tune it off one side of the motor.
Yeah.
Used to have two, but try not to get these all fucked out of the way. It's like they're made to fit.
It did fit good.
See it? Dude, that's the only way to do it. I don't know if yours is like that, but studded,
No.
stud the exhaust, like the head where it's studded.
Yeah.
It's the easiest way. Yeah.
Mine's a pain in the ass.
That's the, I'm telling you, the studded deal, that's probably the game changer.
Yeah. Mine is huge.
I'm about fucked up, but I put the
So,
feel on top of people more.
I'm not trying to hold them hostage. We're just trying to do you a favor, you know what I'm saying?
How we with the new zoomies? Look at these tiny babies.
New precious, man, precious.
I'll be a better.
New precious.
You could do this, like, make it where they're studded. Make your life 1,000 times easier.
oh yeah, it'd be a world of difference.
Yeah, man, I wasn't trying to make a big deal about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice motherfucker.
Yeah, totally different now.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
I mean, shit, if that's how you make them money.
You found the rings.
Take them 2 bolts out and that'll loosen the bulkhead.
This motherfucker.
floor fan. They were
Corey, did you see all the pictures of the fucked up shit we did with that U-joint?
yeah, I seen the,
Yeah, we fucked
the
some
ones
shit.
on the internet.
We fucked some shit up, huh?
Yeah.
Hard on shit.
What's the overflow for the train?
Yeah, it's an overflow. So like you, what you do is like you fill your training up, and then when you make a pass, you know it's gonna overflow a little bit.
Yeah.
But it catches it and then puts it back in like whatever. If it gets too overflow, it'll go into the puke tank.
Yeah.
But if it's not, it'll go back into the motor or go back into the
bolt
it
cock sideways, pushed
yeah,
it in.
Yeah.
You do it like that every time.
Or we could just do what he said. We ever pull the motor just to remember to.
Afterwards, put it in.
Yeah, yeah.
But you may have to loosen that to put it on.
Possible. Or if you when you're going with it, when you're going it, you know, right before we got to it, we should have just put that in there. You know what I mean?
Tie it. Is the bolt? Are the bolts?
No,
completely
but
out?
I just got it on there. So
Makes me wonder if the bolts will line back up without it being
I'm about to give
too.
you 5 seconds. Look in here.
I mean, I think that I don't love that.
I think you did. Would. Let it really line up. It needs to go counterclockwise.
Hmm.
It needs to spin counterclockwise.
Counter.
Yeah. Almost. More. Yeah, and it's got to go that way. You go get a lighter quick.
Here's what I think. I know that we can do it like this, but let's in the morning unbolt that panel.
And just get it all the way out.
Send it off.
Okay.
Yeah. Just send it off. Have him redo that panel and move the hole down. Can we? If we move the hole down an inch, I feel like that would probably fix it.
Or I know it's gonna cost money and shit like that, but
That's what I'm saying. Like if we just move the hole and put it down to there. I don't know. Why do I have these?
that's all boost stuff. It's all. Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Is it cool if I take those ejectors? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't even know. I was like, why do I have those in the car? But it was because we were using the fuel tech controller
Yeah.
in the car. I guess. I don't
No,
remember.
that's all. That's all.
No. No, that is not. That's for fuel tech. That is a fuel tech piece. That is not a hyperactive piece.
I thought it was a hyperactive one.
No.
It's different from the one on Fireville.
Take it off though. We don't need, we ever go back turbos on it or something, we'll put it back on.
We'll reevaluate at that time.
Your vacuum line, they're already plugged. Okay, let me look real quick. There's a vacuum line that comes through on the other side now that we don't even need. So, this one, we don't need that one. So that's gonna come off.
Comes up right here, don't it?
Yeah, but that can stay.
Yeah, that reads.
Yeah.
That reads pressure.
Yeah.
That other one's dead. It's got.
They're both dead.
Yeah, like he put Allen's in. Plug. He put plug. I believe. You're talking about.
This one. Is there one on that side too?
It's this one. You're talking about this one right here. It's got a plug. It's got a plug in it.
Yeah.
It's just plug.
But
It's just
we
like
can-
yeah,
yeah.
all these are plugged. All of them are plugged.
So
Plug
on the
that
inside
out,
and leave.
leave that 90-degree air line in there.
Yeah.
Not the line, but the actual fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll pull that plate off in the morning and.
He had to have rolled it this way, counterclockwise, or clockwise. It needs to go counter, because the one time that it broke, we couldn't see it because it was so far down.
It was underneath it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And I bet he just thought he was doing you a solid, but in reality he wasn't.
No, he was definitely not. He did not do us a favor.
Gotta be feeling we're gonna be starting off the season with the old zoomies.
Well, they aren't done either.
No, I know, but feel like we'll get those before we get these back. Chimney test too. So it's gonna be a little high, so we might have to make still on there. Motherfucker did it.
It's like perfect.
You want a Sharpie? Start marking it?
Check the chimney off the other one.
No, I left it on there because. But I can get it back. I can get it sent back. I didn't want to send it back with a hole in it.
You should have just put the other one on
I
it.
didn't
Like,
know.
obviously it was cut. Come on, man.
I can get it back and just run back until I get it back. I'll have Phantom take it off when he gets there and bring it back. Here, let me put this. Let me juice it all the way down. And then fucking he can ship it to Dennis and use that one. Here's that.
I looked at it, I was like, I don't need to tell him to take that off. Because he's going to know better to take that off than to leave it on there. Because I did
I put two things on that whole motor.
What was the second one?
Ground studs. I have another stud. It's just a stud. I have the nuts and everything. They're like the good nuts that have the little teeth on them. I have those, but just the studs on the ground. Want to measure anything right now and take some more video?
KJ
What was all the gaps on this side? Now this half gap.
Yeah, but things came up. This side is real close where we thought we maybe had to trim it up.
Pretty close to the same now. Hoop has to be 6 inches from the U-joint. I think that's right. 6 inches from either the U-joint or the tail housing, and I'm not exactly sure which one that is. Although I know this, the dude that built this car 100% went by the rules. So that's where it's supposed to be. That being said, what I want to do different is I want a hoop directly around where the U-joint is. So I want to put another hoop right here. So if a U-joint comes apart, it hits that hoop. I also want to put another hoop right here. And the reason why I want to do that is because on the Fireball car, this hoop was moved forward a little bit. Problem was, even though this is titanium, when all this came apart right here, it had to have somewhere to go. So clearly it went to whatever was the most weakest point of this. And it's not backwards because that's where the hoop was at. So it was forward. So what it did was it took this part and pushed it up. And so if you reinforce this with a hoop, you reinforce this with a hoop, you tie them together, like in those 3 spots, I think you have an actual containment tube for that U-joint. If something, God forbid, something happened again like that, which I know that was a freak accident, I don't think there's any way that could come out of there. Now look, things happen, but hey, if it's your time, it's your time.
And also, it wasn't the initial set off the catastrophe was not the U-joint, it was the rear end.
It was not. It actually had nothing to do with the U-joint or the yoke. What happened was or the drive shaft. What happened was the rear end broke and it fell apart in the middle of the pass. Well, when it fell apart in the pass, this thing doesn't like to spin without a load, and the load being the ring and pinion hooked together. So then whenever the rear end broke, it pulled the ring gear away from the pinion and it just zinged the drive shaft. Well, I had a plot on top of the motor. I had a safety on top of the engine. So all it did was run up against rev limiter. It didn't hurt anything. But this thing went as fast as it could go. And when it did that, it caused that to be out of balance. And at that point in time, it literally, the very first thing it did was it just wrung the drive shaft in half. Well, that's no big deal. It doesn't hurt anything. It didn't even scratch the inside of the tube when it did that. But when this half was still hooked to the transmission, that was hooked to the motor that was at 9,000 RPMs, that's when everything didn't go good. So then, when this thing was spinning with this much of the drive shaft hooked onto it, it got all this out of balance and just started breaking everything. So it broke this, it broke the caps. Well, once it breaks anywhere, these pins fall out and then it just starts shooting the caps out of it. The caps are like little bullets at 9,000 RPM. And the bad thing is like after watching it, 100%, one of these caps coming off like they did, and if they hit you in the right spot, I'm 100% sure it would kill you if it hit you in the right spot. So to me, this is a big thing. I honestly don't feel like NHRA has the mandate and the specs correct on this. because I'm not even 100% sure that allowing it to be out of titanium is even the right move. Like it may be the most safest thing is to be steel. But I think you can make one out of titanium that is sufficient. So we're going to modify this one. But the way that they say, 6 inches from wherever, I don't believe in that. I think that's going to get somebody hurt eventually. And I just don't want it to be me, so we're going to change it. Take a straight edge off the rocker and mark the header with a magic. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and if you would, take where the tire hits hard on the driver's side, put a really strong Sharpie line on there.
I did that. Yeah, so you're gonna essentially try to roll the. Man, this is just tough. Came up. Like it could continue. So like where the sniffer tube is on the straight part of the header before it turns on the tips. It could continue if it just continued straight a little longer. It could make the turn a little bit later, and then go right next to where the other sniffer tube was. I don't know if that makes any sense to you or not.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, so like I almost feel like you wouldn't have to change the sniffer tube on the side of the header, but where I've cut it off at, if you take it there and continue it straight for longer, you could miss the rocker, and then just put the sniffer. Literally, if you left the sniffer tip where it was and put another sniffer tip right next to it, that's probably where it would need to be.
How is the O2 bung for clearance against your firewall?
We got that for days.
We're way good there.
Right here. Where am I at? Where's my finger so you can see it? Sorry. I nicked my dang header right here when I was cutting that.
I'll polish that out.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so there's kind of the piece.
So like, man, I tell you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna tape that piece on there. I'm gonna tape that bend on there where it clears okay. Okay, that way when you get it, you'll know that where I have taped this, it's gonna fit okay.
I'll take that off now. You know it fits. I'll text him and make sure he brings it back to me. No, I think he's not gonna even need a chimney on his. I don't think this is gonna fit under the hood. What do you think?
I don't know. It's flat. It'll probably go right good. He's gonna need.
Ready?
Yeah.
One revolution.
Okay, it's hitting right there.
1 1/4.
So you can see. I've put a mark there. I'll put a mark on that side. Oh, sorry. I'll put a mark on that side. Yep. Okay. Now, kind of cram the steering wheel off.
We're gonna do positive stop. Positive stop right there.
So
So that's full lock.
That's full lock, but I mean, it's got the tire pushed in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It looks like it's on it quite a bit.
Right.
So, but spacing from the headers, like down here, on the front clip and everything, like it all looks good down there. Like all this is all good. Side to side is good. Even the position from the rocker to the header looks right. It's just all over the tire. All right, this is gonna be tricky.
I'll hand the tape. You hold it, and I'll tape.
Okay. See which side. Let's see which side they know. I think they were on. Like training fluid under here.
That's because I spilled some when I put the drive shaft out. Then I drained some of it.
Okay, that was it right there. Just fuck with this tape. That right there is where that needs to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll move it. Is exactly where you want it?
Exactly where I want it.
Right there?
Yeah. You really need to go all the way around. Just so you know.
I got you. I just put in a little piece of tape
I know.
now. Now we're going to go around all of them, basically.
What we can do if you want is just do it here now, and then we can go all the way. We can take it off and go all the way around.
This is going to be kind of tough, though.
No,
No, not at all.
that I don't